Welcome to Portland, Oregon, as the Portland Huskies host the Montana Silvertips in some UFL football action. Good evening, everybody. I am Mike Daggs, and alongside me in the booth is Gerald Smith. Gerald, we've got two teams that are both coming off of a loss, both looking to get back in the win column. It's a big game and a lot to talk about tonight as some exciting stuff happened throughout the day today that impacts this game in a pretty significant way.
Yeah, it was very, very interesting how it shaped out as the day matured and one team visited another and people just swapped locker rooms.
Swapped gear, anything that would fit anyway. Blake Green, the backup quarterback for Portland, traded to the Montana Silvertips earlier today in exchange for Montana's starting quarterback, Parker Bennett, who's now the backup in Portland. So we're going to see Montana's new starting quarterback, Blake Green, who was the Portland Huskies backup quarterback as early as this morning. He is now part of Montana, but we're going to see Portland on the field first with Emmanuel Blackman, the quarterback for the Huskies. It's going to start with a run, as that one is handed off for a short gain. And we'll take a look at the starting offense here for Portland. Emmanuel Blackman doing pretty well this season so far, Gerald. He's 119 pass completions on 170 attempts, 9 touchdowns, only 5 picks. Good touchdown interception ratio, about 2 to 1.
Yeah, and a good thing is, too, he's throwing for 288 yards. Oh, look at this already. How does that happen at home?
Sloppy play with a false start. It's the raucous crowd. He's like, why can't they just quiet down?
He's like, why can't, I don't know. I went on 1. Everyone else went on 2. I had it right.
Ball is handed off again. Spin move. Eric Gruger, the running back for Portland. Gruger with 354 yards coming into today's game, 4 touchdowns. Portland narrowly lost last week, Gerald. I know you wanted to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, and they fell short by 2 points, right? And the thing, if you go back and look at it in that game, they have an opportunity to win it late in the game, and they didn't make the attempt to field goal. Took a sack late and got themselves in a tough situation. But there's also a bunch of missed opportunities that we can touch on as this game goes on as well.
Big third down here on the opening drive. Oh, easily completed over the middle to Gruger as he gets the first down up to about midfield, and this drive will stay alive here in front of this call it a raucous crowd. You can hear them. They're loud. They're looking forward to seeing their Huskies get back into the win column. Having a decent season up in the Northern Division. At 2-3. Montana also at 2-3, but Portland on a 2-game losing streak. So they were 2-1 at one point. Looking at Dakota, who's 4-1 up top of the Northern Division. They've got to try to keep up. They don't want to fall too far behind. First pass to a receiver of the night is incomplete. Blackman now 1 of 2. That one into tight coverage.
Yeah, and one of the things that I am going to intercede now that Blake Green is over here. Blake Green moved from there and go over here. Is Parker Bennett gonna get himself in a situation where he's gonna have those ways where he's gonna be able to, coach up and say, hey, look at this.
Gruger with a nice run, about 12 yards up the middle, 20 yards now on the day.
Parker Bennett, Barnett is going to come over and be like, hey, look, this is what this team does on offense, right? I've been a part of that offense. I was actually, a quarterback there. This is what our defense does. So I'm looking for, both teams from an offensive standpoint to have a little bit of an advantage going against their opposing defense here. So it's going to be interesting to see. I'm looking for some offensive output.
First down and 10, just inside the Montana 40. Gruger breaking tackles, but gets brought back down at the line. Tackled on the play by Brendan Bohannon.
Yeah, and then he took it, just held on to his legs, so he just gets fully run over, saved face a little bit.
Pass over the middle, quick completion. That time to the tight end, A.J. Price. Blackman efficient so far. 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, it's gonna be something good. And they ran something really well. Would I like to see him put Gruger back there again right there and kind of do a similar route, but we're gonna see.
Yeah, empty backfield, quick pass to the right. That one complete, good for another first down. Dwayne Knight gets the catch.
And there was so much room over the middle. I'm surprised he actually chose that receiver to throw to a Knight right over the middle. It was just wide open, right? Oh man, he had, number 16 and Genio Willis almost like wide open on some sort of an arrow route right over the middle, but picked it up nonetheless, right? Way to reset it down.
First down and 10. Now at the Montana 28-yard line. Blackman will pass again. No, just barely got it off. Completes that one down to the bottom to Googer, who picks up 7 yards. Had a pretty decent season so far.
Yeah, he's got 4 rushing touchdowns on the year and 354 yards as well. It's good for 17th in the league. Not
about
doing too bad. Yeah, about middle, but not doing too bad. But if they can just the offense going a little bit better.
Oof.
Oh man, look, and they're feeding them too.
Yeah, they are
early.
Blackman just waited a little bit too long on that one to get it out to him. Caught it, but out of bounds. I think no gain, no loss.
I actually think that was the better option. You don't want him to catch it because he probably would have lost a few yards.
So another third down. They've converted them all so far.
Googer out the backfield.
They're going to hand that one off. Googer breaks a tackle, gets the first down inside the red zone. 5 rushes, 23 yards. How's your math skills? That's about 4 point something per carry, right?
Yeah, and
not too shabby.
No, not too shabby at all. And he's actually averaging on the season 4 yards a carry coming into this game. And he's averages just over 70 yards per game on the ground. So doing pretty good. And Wiggins took a truck right there, but was able to bring him down. But Portland keeping it going.
First down, play action. Blackman rolls, fires, end zone, and it is caught in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. The Huskies score on their opening drive.
And he does it, Bobby Conley in the back, and from here it looked like he may have one-handed it, lost it right up there, and he did one-hand it, keep it from going out, tiptoed right in there, keeping it another look, and then takes the hit right after. Look, and what a way for them to go down, on this opening drive here at home. And getting it done right here, right? So, wow. Look, and what a good start for the game for them.
Oh yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Coming in right here, coming off that that loss last week where they actually had themselves in a situation to win, and they're like, hey, look, we're going to try and keep that momentum going.
Bobby Conley with his 4th touchdown reception on the season. He's the leading receiver, at least now, for the Huskies. Came into tonight's game with 333 yards. Receiving, right behind Dwayne Knight, who's got 337. But now with that reception, puts him over Knight's yardage. I'm sure they'll continue to bounce back and forth. You see your called UFL bingo numbers down at the bottom of the screen. If you want to play along, get your chance to get some free progression for your players.
Gotta get my bingo dauber out.
That's right. I could picture you as like an old man just sitting around a bingo hall playing some bingo.
Got my glasses on. You got to have the glasses with
right
the little stringy that
goes
on the tip of your nose, what goes around
yeah,
in case they fall off.
String. All right, hey, let's take a look at Blake Green. He was the backup quarterback here in Portland last week. This morning. Now the starter for Montana. His first pass of the season is complete for -3 yards. So a less than stellar start, but he did complete the pass. But it's interesting how this trade went down this morning, Gerald. He didn't even fly to Montana. Montana just came here and picked him up. Like he was on Portland's roster this morning. He's going to hand this one off. Down to the ground it goes. Jason Williams with the carry. We'll look at the starting offense, the rest of the starting offense here for Montana. But so Montana flies in here to Portland just basically with his gear and says, hey, come here.
You want to play for us?
But get this. They tell Parker Bennett, or Barnett, their starter from last week, say, you go over there. You're there now. And he's going to ride the pine all day for Green. Ends up throwing it almost to his former teammate. as that one is incomplete, and a quick, super quick 3-and-out for Montana.
I was expecting a lot more from Blake Green right there, right? Because like, it's especially on this drive, right? Like, especially the position he had in Portland, him being the backup quarterback, you're typically in a position where you're actually the quote-unquote scout quarterback. You're playing against these players, right? Every day in practice, right? In preparation for that. So, I mean, you think he would be right up on, hey, what kind of game plan that they're doing? But right now, I mean, Portland looked really, really good. Like they knew what to expect from Blake Green, at least on that first drive.
Zach Mueller punts it away. Portland takes back over, and Manuel Blackman back out onto the field. The quarterback for the Huskies. Blake Green obviously sitting behind Blackman all season. To your point, yeah, you would think he would know, give him some intel, but it's such a short time that he's been with these players. Quite literally has never practiced with any of the Silvertips players. I mean, the trade happened today. He met his teammates when they arrived for today's game. It's probably going to be like, a little awkward at first.
Who trades players on game day? That's like, I mean, look,
well,
I know
Montana and Portland.
It's UFL season, right? But we know, hey, from a major port, like it's baseball season. Well, that's like a baseball move.
Yeah.
Look, I know you about to go out and play, but we traded you.
Yeah. Yeah.
to the other sideline.
To the other side of the field. Short pass over the middle. Picks up a couple. Blackman, 6 of 8, 57 yards and a touchdown, but a 3rd down and 10. We saw, I think, 3 third downs get converted on the opening possession, Gerald, but this is the longest of them yet. 3rd down and 10. Bunch up to the top. Blackman has time. These quarterbacks have just had all day. Oh, he throws it a country mile, and it's complete! And he breaks away! Touchdown, Portland! What a play!
Holy cow!
Delvin Fort with the touchdown reception. My goodness. Mostem broke tackles.
Look, and think about all the missed opportunities. Look at him moss to both those guys right there and then break a tackle and bring it in, right? Davian Ford, God, getting his team a 2-score lead, and all it took was just a couple of plays here really quick. And just think about all the missed opportunities and that they look at last week that they let get away from these 2-point conversions. Not good, attempting that field goal when they were very likely in field goal range. Today, they're taking every opportunity that they've gotten and cashing in.
His previous long on the season, Gerald, was a 21-yard reception. That's his 2nd touchdown catch. And that one was 58 yards.
Holy man, this is good. Couple more numbers from a dauber. But man, it's wow. Like what a way to open up this game right here, right? Here we are, 4.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Portland is already up 14-0, and I know it's one drive for Blake Green, right, and a new offense and everything else, but it's like they didn't look very, very good at all there. They look kind of out of sorts. Of course, look, I mean, you got a brand new quarterback coming in a brand new system, and and you're expecting some growing pains. So we're gonna see how it's gonna happen. I mean, you think he woke up this morning and was like, hey, do we really want to? Woke up and was like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna play. No, you had a whole different game plan.
He was gonna hold the clipboard.
And you're taking snaps with a different type of offense, and you bring them right in. You know what I mean? Like, I like the trade. I do think Blake Green is a better quarterback, has a little bit more experience, a lot more experience than Barnett.
Green throws, wide open target, and he's making moves too. Oh, down the sideline, and his first touchdown. No, it's tackled at the 2. What a pass, though.
Jermichael Dixon gets the catch and then makes a move right there. Blake Green says, anything you can do, I can do as well. And it almost went for it right there. He just put a move on him. Oh, wow. And Dixon was almost off to the races and gets taken down right there at the 2.
Poor Kedron Bledsoe. He got put in the spin cycle. Not only did he, watch this, he misses, spins again.
Oh, man.
By the time he regains his footing,
what an opportunity.
Yeah, Dixon was a good 20 yards down the field from that. 1st down and goal. Hands this one off, and it's tackled for no gain. Wow, what a great offensive sequence so far for Montana. We'll take a look here at the starting defense for Portland.
Yeah, man, they
got up Brown.
They can close this gap real quick right here, but we're gonna see
sure
how well they're gonna do right here. At the 2, because that was almost looked like a TFL. Barely got back to the line of scrimmage right there. Oh, now they're coming in and bunch it up. Got people moving all over the place.
Yeah, wide 9 type look for the defense. They're gonna hand this one off
look
again.
At the
what a swarm! Jason Williams just couldn't go anywhere on that one. 3rd down and goal coming up. It would be a shame if they can't get into the end zone after that great long pass.
Yeah, and Nate Malone at the linebacker spot came in there and blew it up, and they just went backwards ever since they got in here.
Handing it off for the 3rd straight time. Swarmed again. 3 straight rushes. No gains on any of them.
Nate Malone come in right on the edge, right as he got stacked up right there, and brought him down from behind right there. Look at Nate Malone come on the edge and just pull him right down. With the D line kind of just getting, man, this is a missed opportunity. We were talking about Portland and their missed opportunities last week.
Yeah.
And now, and they're going for
they're going to go for it on 4th down and goal from the shotgun. Blake Green against his old team has time, fires into the end zone, and it's picked off.
I don't know what Blake Green was looking at. That was the most dangerous throw out of all of them right there that you could throw. That was a little bit reckless right there. You had someone, oh man, they got to move. They had one person in the back of the end zone, number 83, get his number, Bradley right there. He was all alone. You throw it to where there was more people and defenders. I don't know if I like that decision at all.
Yeah, Dominique Haynes, the best corner on this Huskies defense with that interception. And, Portland focused on that all week after that loss, Gerald. They focused on their secondary. They wanted to improve. As that pass is overthrown, they wanted to improve their coverage in the defensive backfield. And I was actually going to comment on that. If Montana had scored that touchdown, I was going to say, man, they focused on practicing in the secondary all week and got burned for a long one. But they got a touchdown saving tackle. The defense held on 3 straight runs. Man, all sorts of time here. Yeah, wide open after he had 3 business days back there in the pocket. But the secondary actually, they did end up coming through, Gerald, as, they were able to, listen, the run defense did what they needed to do, force that 4th down pass, and picked it off. Came away from that with no points. They had a 1st and goal from the 2. No points.
Yeah, and credit to the defensive line and the linebackers right there, right, for holding tight right there near the goal line. You can actually do it, right? Look, and Montana just 7 TDs and 18 red zone trips prior to that interception. So, and they're tied for the 6th fewest red zone touchdowns in the league. So it's kind of telling about how their season has actually gone and how they struggled in the red zone and getting points on the board. So it's also why they traded for Blake Green. They're trying to get something going here, but they've had more quarterbacks than I've had pairs of underwear this week. I mean, they've been changing them really quick. They need some. Oh wow, what a nice open field tackle right there. But like they're trying to do something to spark their team, right? Because last week, for Montana, look, they were up 10 points in the 4th quarter last week, and they blew that 4th quarter lead, right? And they ended up losing, 28-24. But look, right now, I mean, shoot, they're down 2 scores, and I know they were close, but man, they were just super, super aggressive right down that drive. I don't know if I'd have done it that early. Pass is swatted down, and that'll bring this drive to a close. 3rd and 12. That was the longest 3rd down attempt of the game, and that one did not work out for them. And we'll see Portland punt this one away. So Montana with another opportunity to try to get back into this. It was looking like they were going to close that gap, like you said, Gerald. They had an opportunity to turn this back into a 1-score, 7-point game, and just couldn't get it done from the 2. It's that punt. Oh, bounces down at the wow. Don't go in the end zone. Oh, no, it don't matter. It's good. It don't matter here. That's good. Wherever he touched it, that's good.
1 quarter down, 3 to go here from Portland. The Huskies out in front, 14-0 over the Silvertips. But former Husky Blake Green back out on the field now.
He's starting where it ended in the previous drive for them.
Yeah. Right on at the 2 where they were trying to score from. That's just mean.
Yeah, that is mean.
Like,
Look,
hey,
man,
remember where you couldn't score from? Go start from there and run the other way.
Yeah, you threw a pick last time you were here. Let's see if we can repeat that.
3-yard pickup on that one. 2nd down and 7. Green in the shotgun, hands that one off. Nice Jason Williams gets a whole bunch of nice yards there. He couldn't even get 2 yards when they were trying to get that touchdown, but yeah, just gets a whole bunch there.
Well, what they did, they spread out the defense and then just get really good blocks right up the middle. He didn't have too much worry about the linebackers or nothing like that because he was able to spread out that defense and just run right out the middle. It was a very good play design.
1st down and 10. Green hands this one off to Williams. He'll pick up another good chunk of yards. Now 27 yards on 7 rushing attempts. 2nd down and 3.
Right, look, and they need to if they want to show that they can get back in this game, they're going to have to drive the length of the field. 98 yards to put up a touchdown.
No, they're doing a good job so far with Williams. Oh, he just got absolutely laid out. He did pick up the 1st down, but that looked a little bit painful.
Yeah, that wasn't.
Dada Brown.
I'm glad it wasn't me. Not this guy.
Just got leveled, and he goes, Dada.
Yeah, I'm too. I would say I'm too old for that, but you would not say that.
Well,
look at this guy. He's got all kinds of time. Make up your mind.
Good pocket presence.
Ran into a sack. What are you doing, Blake?
Why you gotta yell at him like that?
Well, I don't know. He had all this time and all time to run, and he runs right into the guys right there. You don't run into the mess. Look, he had all this time. He could have rolled out and create more time, but he decided to run right up the middle, right into where the traffic's at. Like, you don't want to do that. He's running right toward 3 guys here. It just wasn't a very, very smart play right there for him. I mean, he had opportunities to just roll out and get him a little more space, a little bit more time, and as to not be so rushed. And he just made the right decision there.
Lots of motion on offense. Got to make sure those players get set before he snapped the ball. Play action. Green down the middle, finds his target. Brady Bradley with the catch with the 1st down. And the drive will continue to go. A drive that started back at their own 2-yard line. We'll see if they can get into the end zone. And Anthony in the chat again, saying hello again. He was in the chat earlier. Got excited when Cameron Irvine said hi to him. So wonder if he'll get excited when we say hi.
Well, everyone should get that excited when we say hi.
I think so. We should probably introduce ourselves. I'm Mike Dykes. He's Gerald Smith. With you here on this broadcast.
I think we're cool, despite popular belief.
Oh, look. There we are.
I look so official with my name there.
Not really. 1st down and 10 from the 41. Sorry, you do. Green. I thought he was going to stay on his feet. Wow. Ben Sampson getting a nice catch.
Yeah, I thought the corner jumped it a little bit too quick right there. It almost allowed Sampson to keep running, but he just clipped him just enough to be able to knock him down. He's a little guy. Looks little.
DJ Kilgannon in the chat saying, "Hi, Gerald. I guess I'll just be here."
You're just a muscle. Maybe I'm the eye candy.
That's for sure. Green. Good completion over the middle. Jermichael Dixon. This is what Montana was hoping for when they traded for Green, is somebody that would be efficient and be able to read the field. He looks poised in the pocket for being his first start of the game. First start of the season. He's looking like a vet. It started off a little shaky, but then he just uncorked that pass deep down the field. Didn't result in points, and he did throw a pick, but he's looking poised now. They started at the 2. They're inside the 30. Green up top finds another wide open target and gets it down. 1st down and goal. Jason Williams with the catch and run.
Yeah, and now we got him in a situation where he can. Let's not have a repeat of what we had going on before, right? So, and this is what I think they needed to do with Blake Green. When you get a new guy into a new system, right, especially the same day, you're not going to have him learn everything you need to know. Have him go out there and just be an athlete. And guess what they're doing? They put him in space, right? And say, hey, look, just go out there and play football like you know how to play football. And Blake Green, as you can see on this drive, he's starting to do that, right? Being able to just read and react to what you got going on. So it's actually going really, really well, at least on this drive right now.
Good view from the pylon cam. First down and goal once again. The last time we saw first and goal, they got 0 yards on 4 attempts and threw a pick. Green under pressure. He's going to lose yards and get sacked. Fight with his second sack of the ball game and does some jumping jacks for good measure.
Yeah, look, and I rather Blake Green take that sack like that instead of throwing a reckless pass, because look, on the season so far through the first 5 games, you know the quarterbacks for Montana have thrown 8 interceptions, and they actually have one more today, right, as we've seen on the first drive as they got down there. So, you know, don't force anything, right? Live to, you know, to play another down, keep it in your possession, protect the ball. I'm not mad at that decision right there.
Gonna hand this one off.
Uh-oh.
Down to the bottom. What a move into the end zone! Touchdown, Montana! Doro Buchanan into the end zone for 6.
Buchanan with like the stop move right here. Watch it. Whoop, and just goes right around him. The linebacker has no idea what happened, but what a way for them to drive 98 yards. Blake Green found his footing on this drive and used his weapons at his disposal, and now they've closed the game. And the defense did their job too to be able to get them the ball back. They drove 98 yards to put this game now into a 1-score lead.
Extra point is up and good. Montana cuts into Portland's lead. And look how happy the team is on the sideline. They're like, yes, this is what we were hoping for. This is what we wanted. And the head coach for Portland thinking, dang, maybe we shouldn't have given him Blake Green. He was really good at holding our clipboard.
It was really good at holding the clipboard, and he hasn't. He's seen our first team defense on a day-to-day basis through the first 5 weeks of the season as well. So he's starting to kind of pick it apart. He's starting to find his bearings and everything else, it seems like. So, I mean, Portland could be in for quite a tough matchup.
See the called UFL bingo numbers down at the bottom of the screen. They'll be on and off the bottom of the screen throughout the game. So stick around, see what other numbers get called. See if you can get yourself some UFL bingo. Let's see what Portland does now. They had to punt on their last outing. As you see some updated numbers from Cougar. Not the greatest stat line so far.
Yeah, but they're actually throwing him out of the backfield too, which is that's when he's done most of his damage. It's pretty good.
Pass up top.
What was that?
Man, it was just too quick. The pressure was on its way, and Bobby Conley just didn't have time to get ready for that catch. Bounced off his head, it looked like. Second and 10.
Blackman was like, you're there. This is your ball. Let's catch it. But it just didn't. He just didn't know.
Montana showing pressure. They do send the blitz, and they get home. The tackle for a loss strikes true.
Look, it takes only one, like shift in momentum right there to just almost like explode. Now, if we see Montana get a stop here, we could see something like the momentum completely shift.
Watch him get a pick. Blackman under pressure, and he's ripped down to the turf. Thrown into the grass. Rayvon Jefferson with the sack. And that drive went for -9.
Yeah, look, and Jefferson just kept working and working on the offensive lineman right there and be able to do it before you know it. Blackman had him right in his face.
Yeah.
And he got thrown to the ground, right? He didn't do, Jefferson didn't do anything special right there. He just kept working, just like any defensive lineman should do. Keep working. Yeah. Don't give up on it.
It almost looked like he was running in slow motion. Like we could see him approaching it. I'm like, Blackman's going to get rid of this, right? He's going to throw. Any day now, he's going to throw. No, he's getting thrown into the turf now.
And that's the thing. Like, the quarterback was focused downfield to see him, and before you know it, I mean, he doesn't realize anybody's there until it's in his face. So this could turn on its head right. Well, look at that punt. That was
Teliafu with a huge punt. Really flipping the field there. And Montana will start from their own 35, which is significantly better than their last drive where they started from their own 2.
Yeah, and let's see what they can do. I mean, I know Blake Green's coming out with confidence, but one person we haven't heard much from yet is Kay Marion. We know how dominant she can be. right? She's a very, very good player, right? Everybody knows who Kay Marion is. If you know, you know. If you watch the Virgin Football Network, you know who Kay Marion is, and she could be dominant.
Right. And Green just lets that one slip out of his hands. 2nd down and 10. If he had completed that one, there was some room to run there, but he didn't. 2nd down from their own 35-yard line. Defensive line for Portland playing really wide. They could probably get some running plays in here, but Green's going to throw again, and now he gets sacked.
Almost a mirror of what the other one happened.
Yep.
The defensive lineman just kept working and working and working, and before you know it, he just thought he had some security, but really didn't, and he was even getting double-teamed for a little minute, right? And he just kind of got there and just worked off 2 guys and just was able to get a sack. That's something right there. Look at that. He just works it, then works his way through one guy and gets right off of it and is able to make the sack on Green. Now it's going to be a really long yardage right here. Yeah. 3rd and 14.
Sharif Manning with his 4th sack on the season, leading the team. We're going to throw that behind the line of scrimmage. Check down is complete, but they will have to punt that one away now. So back-to-back punts for each of these teams. And Montana not able to capitalize off of decent starting field position and an opportunity to get this one tied back up.
Yeah, we're also going to see how the Montana defense is going to react, right? They got themselves off the field for 2 drives in a row to get their offensive ball back, and we're going to see if they can keep that up, right? Because Montana is coming to this game, they have been 5th worst in 3rd down defense, right? And they give up over 50% on 3rd down, right? So, and they got to stop that. They so far on the previous 2 drives defensively, they've done it to be able to get their offensive ball back and keep themselves in this game. So let's see if they can keep that going and improve that 3rd down defense.
Manuel Blackman, 8 of 13, 156 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He's having a good game, but all of that was in the first quarter, like early in the first quarter. Since that time, he hasn't done quite so well as this Montana defense starts to pick up. Eric Guger on the ground. Gets a nice gain up the right-hand side. 2nd down and inches.
Yeah, it's Guger coming through right there, and he's averaging, about 3 yards a carry right now on the ground with that chunk.
High formation on 2nd down. Blackman will throw. Has time, goes to the bottom, finds his target, stepping out of bounds at about the 49-yard line. Getting that catch, Davian Fort.
Fort made sure everybody knew once he got and ran out of bounds, like, that's a 1st down. Point down the field, it's a 1st down.
Just in case anyone missed it. 1st down. It's like, okay, thanks. We got it. Ball is handed off to Guger. Blocking was setting up nice. He just couldn't end up finding the hole. 2nd down and 9 after a 1-yard pickup.
Yeah, man, but the linebacker on that end, Chase Evans, was able to just hold his positioning and just wait for the running back to choose whatever route he's going to go, and was able to just, grab him to keep him to a minimal gain.
Play action. Wow. And nobody was fooled on that defense as he gets sacked yet again. 2-minute warning here from Portland. Montana on a drive with it going the wrong way.
And speaking of Chase Evans on the previous play, what he does right there, he stays whole tree. He's not fooled by any kind of play action. Getting there and be able to take the sack. Oh, my
Cougar
God. Look at him
protecting that ball, but running for a nice gain. He gained almost everything he needed to. Came up 3 yards shy, though.
I don't think they were expecting that to happen right there at that moment, but it's 4th and 3. And if he would have been looking to run and just keep going, Guger may have picked it up. He could have maybe outrun him a little
I think
bit.
He could have if he had tried to stay in, but they're going to have to punt again, and a lot of it's due to the sacks that Blackman's been experiencing tonight, a little bit more than average.
Yeah, and he's got coming in right into this week, it's like 10 times. And he's got, around like 3 times he's been taken down already, right?
Yeah, just about, yeah.
Look, and there's only one team in the league that is, only given up just 10 sacks for 5 weeks, and that's Salt Lake, right? So, They're allowing that quarterback to get hit way too much.
Blake Green getting sacked a lot too, as you see the highlights so far.
I think
his old teammates beating up on him a little bit.
I think that's what it is. They're
we're gonna give you some going away bruises, Blake.
Yeah, now you in the real league. No clipboard holding.
See what he can do on the 2-minute drill. Had a 98-yard drive that scored their lone touchdown. Not in any particular hurry, as they're backed up pretty far in their own territory. They will go into the no huddle here. 77 yards away from the end zone. Green throws that one to his coach.
That actually,
Portland.
and that actually sailed on him right there too as well. Because if you end up watching replay, we're watching on a second monitor here. The offensive lineman got pushed right back into Blake Green's lap and just forced that to sail.
Yeah, bumped as he threw. Shotgun now on 3rd and 7. Oh, and they're going to hand it off. If he had kept going, he would have gotten it. Is he going to? They give him the first down.
I don't know what he was thinking. He tried
Jason,
to get a little bit too cute.
You got to lower the shoulder when you're that close to the line to gain. They're going to go into the no huddle, no review, so it is the first down. Ball snap plays in the books now. Green fires 20 yards downfield and getting another 6 yards after the completion. Brady Bradley.
Yeah, and they're going to have the 10-second runoff here, right? You know, as we can see right here, 10-second runoff when they go in the no huddle, so we know that's going to happen. But they're keeping it going.
Green standing in midfield, throws down to the bottom. That was complete, but he stays in bounds. They're going to have to burn their first time out.
And that's typically something you don't see Kate Marion. You know, it's her first catch on the day, and she ends up going for a loss on that one. It's typically, Kate Marion is one of the smartest, most athletic receivers in all of sim football, and typically you don't see her make that kind of mistake. Hey, catch the ball, get what you can, and get out of bounds.
Bunch formation on 2nd down and 11. 3 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Green drops back, fires another 20-yard pass into double coverage, and he gets the catch.
That was a tough throw and even a tougher catch right there. Has the ball up above your head, holding it very, very good. Hands right there. Oh man,
I wanted a replay so bad.
And that was Cedric Patrick coming through right there, being able to pull down from a tight end position. You can say it. It's hashtag throw it to the tight end. They got it.
That's what's up. 2 receiver look now for the Silver Tips. Green from the 35 under pressure, and he's going to go down again.
Are they gonna?
They're going to let the clock roll here, Gerald.
I don't know. I would have liked to see a timeout here. Take that last timeout, and then
they'll go into the no huddle here. This is far field goal range. Oh well.
Whoa.
You know what? Make it even farther. False start.
That's why you take the timeout at that moment.
Yeah, I don't even know if they're going to be able to now. The clock might run out.
Yeah, because it's a running clock. They got a penalty. They lose 10 seconds.
The clock stopped.
And now they're forced to some tough situations.
They just gave him a 10-second runoff, but they can't kick the field goal. Okay. Ball's handed off, and that's going to head to halftime.
Yeah, but you can't.
Another missed opportunity.
You can't have a penalty in that type of situation because they give you a 10-second runoff right here, and it just missed opportunities again for them. They can possibly have had 10 points that they could have gotten out of missed opportunities like this. So they could potentially be in the lead right now, and instead they're losing by 7.
Yeah, they definitely could. And, as we look at the first half stats and some highlights, first down and goal from the 2. You can't punch it in on 3 straight runs. You go for it on 4th. You try to throw it in the end zone. You get it picked off. And then another missed opportunity there is they were in field goal range. Granted, it was far field goal range. But we'll see what the third quarter brings as we pause for league rights.
This presentation of the UFL is intended for the private use of our audience. Any accounts or descriptions of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Welcome back for the start of the third quarter. I'm Mike Daggs. He is Gerald Smith. Think outside the box in the chat says, bring in the blimp. Yes. If only. I don't know where the blimp is.
I
think it was stolen.
I deflated your airship.
Let's That's so rude. All right, well, Montana's going to get the ball to start the second half here. They're going to kneel this one down, bring it out to the 25-yard line. And Blake Green, the quarterback that was traded from the Portland Huskies to Montana literally today. He's had an up and down start to his Silvertips career.
Yeah, and it was also a thing, right? I can put it in his hands as well too. Like, hey, why you didn't call a timeout? And I like to hear our AI expert and Mr. Cameron Irvine to see, hey, look, what may have happened in that situation with them having one timeout left and potentially being able to use it, and why they chose to do that, and why did they, with that in a timeout slip, why did they take the 10-second runoff when they could have possibly used their timeout?
Yeah. Good evening, fellas. It was a very interesting play. It's the first time we've seen a 10-second runoff in any kind of testing or in any UFL game this season as that pass is caught for a loss. I think, Gerald, what happened was that because the play was dead at 11 seconds, they would typically save that timeout for something that's less than 5 seconds. The runoff takes us under, but the code is pulling from the time of the penalty, right, at 11 seconds. So essentially they say, no, I want to save that timeout, but of course it goes to 1. So that was a very unfortunate set of events for Montana. And, yeah, they've had a couple of unfortunate things. The fourth down call on the goal line was frustrating too. Sometimes fourth down doesn't get a lot of love because it doesn't happen very often. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Cam. 3rd down and 2, and they go 5 wide in the shotgun, and it pays off as able to find one of his favorite targets tonight, Brady Bradley, as he reaches 50 yards on the day.
Yeah, he's got 4 receptions for 51 yards. And thank Mr. Cameron Irvine for that wonderful explanation. So I was wondering too. I'm like, wow, and seeing how, hey, through testing, that's something that they'd never seen before, so they hadn't been able to address it. How often that's going to happen, I don't know, but it's something really interesting to see. Especially, it's really cool to see stuff like that happen. And can be like, oh, we've never really noticed that it actually happened, and them choosing to run off as opposed to using the timeout.
Green, I don't even know where that one was headed, but he threw it
to the turf.
He sure did, and that one's incomplete. Well, I mean, you think about it, there's basically an infinite different number of scenarios that can come up in football. I mean, just from yardage standpoints, clock running, not running, the lead, no lead, that screen pass goes for -2, 3rd down and 12. So there's just so many different things that can take place. It's impossible to prepare for everything, but you see what happens along the way and adjust. And that's, like what Montana decided to do. They made their adjustment by trading for a new quarterback. And we've seen some good and some bad.
Some
good, some bad, some ugly.
It's like, hey, you're doing, I don't know, it's man starting a new job and say, you're it.
Yeah, well, he just got a nice completion first down there, Jermichael Dixon. Listen, you got to give him a little bit of slack. He's owned a green helmet for about 4 hours.
Yeah, I know, but I'm like, I don't know, man. It's just, and you can see, right, when he's just reacting to what he's doing and not having too much to think about with the game plan they actually have in place, learning playbook. Just go out there and be athletic, and that's when he has been at his most successful, is when he's just seeing guys just reading and reacting to what he sees on the field, and he's able to produce and actually get the ball. When he, as you can see, when he holds the ball a little bit longer, that's when it doesn't really bode well for him.
Parker Barnett, the quarterback that was traded from Montana to Portland. He's now on the Portland sideline holding the clipboard over there. As Green fires that one into double coverage, that was incomplete. She almost had that. That was Kay Marion, the intended target.
I don't know what window he was trying to fit that in.
A very small one.
Yeah, and it just it didn't work out.
2nd down and 10. Jason Williams gets the handoff, picks up a couple. 3rd down and about 8. 3rd and 7. Officially, Parker Barnett, the new backup for Portland. How do you think he feels? He literally flew in here with his team
as the starter.
Yeah, and they said, "Yeah, no, go over there.
You're not good enough. You want to be the backup, but not here."
Yeah, over there you could be the backup, not here. Look at Green. Oh, he's gonna do it with his legs, and he gets the 1st down.
That's the decisions I want him to make
Yes.
earlier in the game, right? Instead of holding it way too long and waiting for someone to come open.
Yeah, if you're going to scramble.
Yeah.
Like
Look-
he looked, he's like, nah, time to go.
And he had the lane, and he chose it correctly and didn't wait and didn't run right into a sack like he done earlier in the game. So I think this is a situation where he might look down the field, like you know where the progression of reads are, but guess what? He doesn't really know the playbook like that, so he don't really know the route trees. He's just reading and reacting. So like when you do that and you get in that situation, hey, use those legs.
First down and 10 from the 24. Montana looking to get this one tied up. Oh, a missed
he
opportunity
stopped.
again.
He stopped running, and Blake Green thought he was going to keep running. That was potentially a touchdown.
That's what happens when you've been teammates for one afternoon.
Oh, he slowed up. That's when you expect him to zig, but he zagged, and he just stopped.
Jigged but zagged.
Zig.
I think he said he thought he was going to jig but zagged. I don't know. I don't know
Same
what's
thing.
going on. Yeah, okay.
Cajun speak.
Chaw, man. He did the jig what he should have zagged and skibbity hee-haw down the bayou. I don't know what I'm saying. 3rd and 4.
Oh, yeah.
Green checks it down on the screen. Another spin and another first down. That looked awkward as possible, but it worked.
I thought it was a broken play. I'm like, he's in trouble, but I realized, no, it's a screen pass. That's how it's supposed to do. You draw the defensive lineman to you, get the offensive lineman running out there, and he picked it up. Didn't need to do anything special, but he was able to pick up the yards, and and they're inching ever so closely to the end zone again.
I wanted to see Buchanan do that juke that he got on his first touchdown where he just left the defender standing there with broken ankles. Elected for the spin, didn't quite work out. Porsche Henson in the chat says, how can you hate the Dag Stroneworks blimp? I agree. Green looks, fires down to the bottom, and that one is caught at the 6-yard line. 2nd down and 3.
And they can still pick up a first down here too, right? Them right here, there's only 3 yards to go, and they got to get themselves just a little bit closer. They got to get down just inside the 2-yard line to pick it up, and I think that would bode well if they don't pick it up. Just get right inside the 2-yard line, get you another set of 4 downs. I love this pylon cam.
I thought the pylon cam was just checking out the coach for a little while. I'm like, are they going to show the play, or we just this is the coach cam? 2nd down and 3. Remember, they had a first down and goal from the 2 earlier on. Couldn't get it. Oh, Jason Williams strolls into the end zone for the touchdown, and we're an extra point away from tying this one up.
Wow, he could have crawled in the end zone. What good seal blocks everywhere. Nobody to be found out there to even sniff anything of them right there. Being able to hold their blocks on the edges and handshakes all around as they attempt to kick this extra point and tie this ball game up. Look, and for one of the teams that was one of the worst 3rd down defenses in the league coming into this week, the Montana defense is standing up, right? And to be able to get the stops that they need and give their new quarterback and their offense the ball back. And it seems right now like it's kind of been paying off.
Well, talk about a momentum shift, too. I mean, this was all Portland in the first quarter. The first half of the first quarter, Portland was able to get themselves up 14-0. Since that time, it's been slow, but it's been all Montana as they've gotten this tied back up now. 3rd touchdown on the season for Jason Williams as he passes 400 yards on the season as well. And now it'll be up to Portland, Emmanuel Blackman, Eric Guger, and company to see if they can respond. Something they haven't been able to do for a little while now is that kick is taken out to the 28-yard line, and Emmanuel Blackman back out onto the field.
Look, I would say this is something completely kind of different, I guess, maybe, but I love to see a traditional kickoff return. Bodies running 100 miles an hour at each other and just tearing people up. I like it.
I agree.
Guess what? They got the best doctors in some football. We'll be back the next week.
Blackman play action. That one's complete for about a 9-yard pickup. They got to try to get a sustained drive going here. They've been doing a whole lot of punting lately.
I mean, it's a very good start to the drive right here anyway, right? Like, you get 9 yards on first down. It seems like, hey, let's go back to what got us, like our 14 points anyway, getting down the field by chucking it down.
Yeah, wide open. Stepping out of bounds after about a 6-yard pickup.
I don't know why the Montana sideline got a little bit beside themselves when he picked that up. Like, come on, man. Like, you're doing pretty good. It's a tie ball game. They're just look upset, throwing hands on the ground like, oh, my God. The game's over kind of type thing. It was weird.
Trying to make some defenders miss.
Doing?
Yeah, he's trying to get a little too cutesy there. Picks up 2.
Yeah, man, he just was shaking.
He's like, look at my moves. Look at this. Look at this.
Scared to attack the line of scrimmage.
He didn't want to get hit.
Yeah.
2nd and 8, and hand this one off.
Wow, what pursuit right there.
Yeah.
It is a big third down.
Luger with a 3-yard pickup, 3rd down and 5. Yeah, it's it definitely in outside of field goal range. Being here at midfield.
I feel like they're going to blitz around the edge right here. They need to watch it.
Yeah, look at 5 right on the line for Montana. Pressure on its way, but well picked up, and he finds a wide open target with space all the way down to the 13-yard line. A huge gain for the Huskies. They convert the 3rd down and more.
He just came right across. Grant Taylor comes right across right there. What he does, it goes there. It almost looks like he does a little fake on the inside and then shoots right back to the outside, getting the defender a little bit off balance, and it was timed just perfectly for Blackman to be able to hit him. And wow, what and that was a big 3rd down, and they got a chunk yardage right there to get themselves right inside the red zone now.
Taylor with 7 receptions, 83 yards on the season. Blackman hit as he throws, and that one sails out of bounds. 12 of 18, 219 yards and 2 touchdowns on the day. It's pretty darn good numbers, Gerald, to have a tie ball game.
Yeah, look, and on there, I mean Taylor only on the season has got 7 receptions for 83 total yards coming in, so it was, very big for him to come up. Oh, what a play action.
Blackman, end zone, touchdown for the Huskies. They're back out on front.
Made it look easy. Guess what? Grant Taylor comes through on one big play right there. Guess what? They said, hey, we're going to get the other tight end involved, and A.J. Price coming right across the field right there and just runs, somewhat of a slant that just carries him from one side of the field to the other because he lined up on the right side of the line and been able to get across. And just like that, right? What do? They get themselves in a situation that, hey, look, let's go back to throwing the ball and being, more successful as we've been, as they do the burning in the end zone. And just like that, they just take it back, right? We talked about Montana last week, right? Kind of just letting the game slip away. I mean, their defense held up pretty good, right? Up until this last drive. And then they just, I think it was 3 straight defensive, possessions that they were able to stop the offense from moving and force them to punt. And here we are right now. No sooner their team tied the ball game up, they got a little bit loose, a little bit lax, and now they're looking at themselves being down again by 7.
I mean, even the best defense that there is can only sustain for so long. I mean, eventually something's going to happen, and you're going to allow some points, whether it's touchdown or field goal. You hope to bend but not break, and that particular drive, they were able to, the defense broke, and Portland was able to get back into the end zone for the touchdown.
I just don't like how Portland seemingly scored way too easy on that drive, right? Nothing seemed overly difficult or anything at all.
Kick will be taken out of the end zone and returned up to the 25-yard line, same as if he had just taken a knee, and well, now he's going for a piggyback ride. None. Get off green. All right, so Jason Williams, 14 rushes, 63 yards. He's got a touchdown, averaging 4.5 per carry. So he's got a rushing touchdown. Doral Buchanan has a rushing touchdown. Still waiting to see Blake Green throw his first touchdown pass for the Silvertips. And he's just going to go for the whole thing right there as Kay Marion gets a nice catch and gets up to about midfield.
Oh, they're lucky Kay didn't come down and get her footing real quick because she'd be still running. Because, dude, she skied up and pulled that right back down. Look
Sure
at, and I'm really, look, and it seems like Blake Green is really getting really comfortable right now with where he's at in the offense, right? Like I said, he's an athlete. So you put an athlete out there to make plays, and he's making plays right there, right? Not having to put too much thought in it or nothing like that. But I'm really thinking that we're going to have ourselves in a situation where we're going to have somewhat of a shootout as the game, continues to wind down third quarter into the fourth.
Jason Williams able to break some tackles. Yeah, I think we will too. These teams both statistically give up quite a few points.
Yeah, like 4 touchdowns apiece on average. Portland giving up 32 points a game, second worst in the league. Montana giving up 28 with its 6th worst in the league. Oh,
can he shake it? No, he gets sacked. Thought he might be able to break away from that one, but 3rd down and 12 now.
it's the wrong sport, young man.
He's an athlete too.
He's showing he's athletic. He
like,
comes right across, and he tried to get
athlete.
it out, but he just
look at.
right
I can get a
face.
sack. I can do a fadeaway jump pass
Yeah.
for 3. Nope, you just get a sack. That's it.
Yeah, Kobe Sanders, and that's a big loss, 9-yard loss on the sack. Even Karate Kid kicked somebody.
Yeah, it's a drive-killing type loss there. 3rd down and 12. Trevon Prasad joining us in the chat. Appreciate you being here. Green up top, complete, getting across the line. Almost looked like he was surprised there. Cedric Patrick with the catch. He was like, I got to go this way. Juked across the line to gain 1st down, Silvertips.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It was, he had a 9-yard loss on the previous play. They pick it up all right back, go from, 2nd and 3 to 3rd and 12 to just getting all the yards they need back in one play on that 3rd and long right there, right? It's a way for them to keep their drive alive. Wonder if Cedric Patrick is related to the head coach, Rajon Patrick.
Second cousins.
Wow.
Jason Williams picks up a nice 1st down there. Visit the YouTube channel of Green Gridiron, who just today launched a collaboration with the UFL that will bring all 32 teams to life with full-size helmet replicas. It's just the first way the UFL is bringing these teams to life. They make it real, and so do all of you. For more information on the amazing products Green Gridiron has to offer, visit greengridiron.com. That's some cool stuff, Gerald.
Yeah, I need one of them claws helmets.
Well, go to greengridiron.com.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Get yourself a full-size replica claws helmet. Wow. What great pressure from that defense. 3 quarters in the books. 1 to go. The Huskies out in front once again. But Silvertips, they're on the move. 2nd down and 14. We flip sides of the field. I'm Mike Dykes. He's Gerald Smith. Blake Green, the quarterback, throws it out of bounds. Trying to hit his old coach again. I think we've seen that. Listen, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I've seen a couple of passes from Blake Green going straight for his former coach in Portland. He might be a little upset about how the trade went down.
Yeah, man, you want to be salty or you want to win?
He wants to win. Green has all day down the sideline, and he throws it a little too far towards the sideline. Now they're going to credit it? Wow. They're saying that Patrick got in. I wouldn't be surprised if we get... Well, let's look at it right now.
We got another good look at that. Let's see what we got.
Oh, I don't think so.
They're going to review this. They got to.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he was in the first row of the stands when he caught that one.
That was blatantly out.
Yeah. Now they call it a 1st down. See if they can quick snap it. Nope.
Yep. Of course.
Portland challenges it. Says we've seen that when Green was our scout team quarterback. He would throw it out of bounds all the time. We know that. So, yeah, I don't think there's any question here.
No.
It's to be overturned.
No, that's so easy. He's jogging out. He looks pretty confident.
Oh, yeah. Well, he knows what's up. He's earned those zebra stripes.
What's going on?
Yeah.
He didn't even say anything. He just motioned.
He said just put it back at the 31-yard line.
This is a long one.
Yeah. 49-yard field goal is...
Oh, he missed it.
Good.
That is not good.
Snap and hold look good.
He went wide.
Ball just sailed wide.
He went wide right. Not
My
to bring
two
back
least
memories.
favorite words
Yeah,
in football.
not to bring back memories for certain people because they might cry on air.
Oh, stop it. Blackman's updated stats, 13-19, 236 yards. He's now got 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. He's played very well.
Yeah, and the defense has got to step up and stop him. Oh, wow.
Screen pass.
Oh, my
what
God.
a move! And down the sideline he goes. Is anyone going to catch him? To the 10-5 touchdown. What a play for Portland. Emmanuel Blackman now with 4 touchdowns on a 62-yard touchdown pass to Fort.
Yeah, and it was a simple, like, little wide receiver screen, and he didn't even get the block that he needed, but you know what he did? He ducked under a tackle right here. Whoop. Just right up underneath it, and he was just going off to the races.
What
Fort kept
speed.
going, and he just took off. Wonder who had a gazillion-yard touchdown passes twice happen in a game on their bingo card. Not I.
A gazillion, give or take. One play, 62 yards into the end zone for the touchdown.
9 seconds.
That's it.
And they just blew it wide open. And we just started in the fourth quarter. Like, this has got to be, I mean, look, Montana's going to have to answer right here. Now they've given up, the average to their opponent today with 28 points, right? The average giving up 28 points, and they surrendered that here, right at the beginning of the fourth quarter. Man.
Jolson Joel D in the chat says, who is this superhuman? I think he's referring to Davian Fort, who just got that touchdown reception.
I think he's talking about me.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Who is this superhuman with the amazing analysis? No, I think he means the receiver that made that slick move. Davian Fort, who is available to claim.
Sure is available.
You want to claim your player, Davian Fort could be you.
Look, and he is also a very young player, only at 26, 4 seasons in the league, so he's got plenty of years left in him before he even sniffs retirement.
So let's talk about age for a second as we see Blake Green come back out onto the field for Montana, now down by 2 touchdowns here early in the fourth quarter. We've talked about this a few times already, obviously. Blake Green with that completion. He was traded from Portland to Montana to replace Parker Barnett, who was the quarterback. Blake Green is 31 years old. Parker Barnett was only 24 years old. So Montana electing to trade away a 24-year-old player with only 1 season of experience, as that one goes incomplete, and trade for a player who is 31, already on the plus side of 30, with 8 seasons of experience. Too soon for Montana to give up on a young player, or do you think they just needed that experience now?
They needed it now, right? Because that's the same thing that actually, Portland did. Oh, as we see catch. As Portland did right here, they brought in Emmanuel Blackman in there, to replace Blake Green, looking for the future, right? So and Montana, hey, they wasn't getting the results they needed out of Barnett, right? So, hey, look, this guy has been a starter in the league before, and Blake Green, we're going to bring a guy in and looking for an opportunity and is hungry to do it. He's still got some left in the tank.
Can they get the first down? No, they will fall a couple yards shy. They're slow to get up. 4th down and 2, and too early to go for it here. 10 minutes to go, down 2 touchdowns. 4th and 2.
I don't know.
4th and 2 midfield.
Well, I really do think that I would be in a situation right here where I would actually come in there and see if I can get them to force them to jump or whatever else. And if you get a good look, because Blake Green, right, he's an experienced quarterback. You get the look that you want. Get athletic. I'm very good at this.
They're going to go for it. Green trying to do the hard count. Hands it off. Williams gets the first down.
He's stumbling. Oh, my God. I thought that was wrecked.
Looked like an old man with a walker going across the line to gain, but he got it.
I thought it was wrecked. He looked like a lame duck or something, just limping across the line. That was something crazy, but they picked it up. Good call. I like it.
Green, quick pass. Nice slant play to K. Marion.
Oh, is it what is this?
Face mask, I think. Yeah, it looked like they tackled her by the face mask. So, yeah, Portland getting a little frustrated right now is they just, they got that stop. They got the 3rd down stop. It's 4th down, but nope, offense stays out, gets the first down, and then a nice pickup of about 8 yards turns into a pickup of about 23.
Yeah, look, and that puts them right here on the edge of the red zone. Gets them, ever so closer here.
Green has time, throws, finds a wide open target, gets a first down again at about the 15-yard line. Now they'll say second down in inches.
And this is what they needed on this drive, right? To come down pretty quick right here and just get on there. Look, and they're going a little bit of tempo. I like the alignment that they're doing, right? Because they're doing really good in the pass game right now. Had a few hiccups early on, everything else. I mean, but Green's got just over 300 yards thrown through the air. I mean, he's not having a terrible day at all. He's got that one blemish, and that's the interception in the end zone.
Pretty big blemish, though, unfortunately.
You got that.
Yeah, Williams picks up the first down. For UFL schedules, standings, stats, rankings, and more, visit the league website at UFL.football and claim your player today. You can help your favorite team succeed there, too, by just being a fan and declaring your fandom. UFL.football, the official home of everything UFL. Williams jukes to the left and then is tackled once again, approaching 100 yards on the day after that 3-yard pickup.
I really think that Williams missed his cutback lane right there. Everybody was off to the right side of the line. If he'd hit that cutback lane, he may have been sniffing the end zone.
Green pitches it down to the bottom.
I like this.
Flag on the play. They're into the end zone for the touchdown.
It's coming back.
But it is coming back for holding a 10-yard penalty. That's going to back them up.
Oh, man.
From getting a touchdown to now 2nd and 17 from the 21. Brutal.
Oh, man, that was brutal.
Green hands that one back off to Buchanan.
Don't juke, Mr. Buchanan.
Well, you remember he got that touchdown on that really slick juke.
That don't work every time.
Well, yeah, it's never going to work if you don't do it at all.
Yeah, I know, but man, he could have just ran straight.
They're down at 11.
They have to go for it. It's 4-down territory.
I think it might depend on what they get here. I don't know. They picked up about 5.
They called that play because they know it's 4-down territory. They're going to have to go. They're down 2 scores, 6.5 minutes left. I don't think they're going to have enough time, especially if they give it back to Portland. Portland could waste this away.
So 4th down. This really could be the ball game. Green has time, fires, end zone, and it is incomplete.
Oh, man.
Turnover on downs, and Portland takes back over.
That got a little dicey right there. Looked like somebody came in and knocked it away right at the end. He had a chance to get it, too. It just really good coverage, and he got his hand in there just to disrupt it. He had an opportunity. I actually thought he was going to hit K. Marion, right in front of the end zone there, but it just didn't throw. But look, I mean, you're down here this far. Your defense needs to get you a 3 and out. It's not over just yet.
Add 2 to the empty red zone trips count.
Oh wow, you can't let that happen.
As Montana has just had a lot of missed opportunities throughout the whole season, Gerald, and they continue tonight. We've seen interceptions thrown into the end zone from the 2-yard line. A 4th and 7 gone for it, thrown into the end zone, and it's just incomplete. Yeah, I know that was tight coverage, but if it hits your receiver in the hand, you got to catch that. Blackman rolls out, play action, wide open.
What is happening? Why are you allowing them to just torch you like this? Look, and as we've seen, like Montana has had one of the worst red zone offenses, in the league thus far, right? They're they get down there quite often, but they don't come away with, especially touchdowns. They don't come away with touchdowns down there, and part of winning these games is when you get down in the red zone is to putting touchdowns on the board, right? As we know, I mean, nobody can be, the Revs from season 18 where you can rely on a kicker to kick you to wins every single week, making 15, field goals a game. It's very hard to do.
Yeah.
Right. But it's a thing. They just can't do it. You got to put touchdowns on the board if you want to win consistently.
Coming up on Friday night right here on the Virtual Football Network, it's the most anticipated matchup in UFL history as the unbeaten Wichita Flyers head to Dallas to take on the unbeaten Talons in a battle not just at the top of the league, but in the Central Division as well. Kickoff at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, following game night at 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Virtual Football Network. So that one is taken by Googer. He'll pick up about 4 yards, 3rd down and 6, and 4 minutes to go, clock rolling. I'll be interested to see if we are even able to see this Silvertips offense back out onto the field. It's really going to depend on this 3rd down play right here.
Yeah, we're going to see, and I expect them to run it. Oh, they try.
They go with that screen pass again. Gerald, I am not a fan of that screen pass, and I was going to actually say that the last time we saw that screen pass, but the last time we saw it, Davian Fort made it look like the best play in UFL history by one little move to make a tackle get missed and brought it into the end zone, but didn't work there, and we'll see another punt from the Huskies. And as the Huskies offense gets ready to come back out onto the field with 3 minutes to go, let's bring Cameron Irvine back in with his very stylish haircut to talk about some of the offensive red zone woes that have been happening.
Yeah, it's almost like inheriting a house that you don't realize has a bunch of holes in the floor. When we got red zone offense, we thought to ourselves, well, it's just going to pull out of the red zone playbook. No, it actually will pull from all of the regular offense as well. And so if those red zone plays are lower in the hierarchy, another flag, that's going to help Montana, then they weren't getting called. So you have a lot of teams who had a lot of red zone play calls that were not necessarily made for the red zone, causing some problems. I don't think Montana is a team that is necessarily focused on that just yet throughout the season. And now in the no huddle here as well, it's another opportunity to see them in a late game situation too.
Thank you, Cam. That one is swatted away, and just it's the league in its infancy, learning the ins and outs of what gets called when, situational football, and making those adjustments. So.
It's one of those things where you got to actually look at it. Hey, look, we got to put it in a real life scenario, right? So, and that's what they're doing.
High snap, but handed off to Williams. He's just trying to do too much, Gerald. These moves that he's making is slowing him down. Look, he's got room to run, but he decides to cut back left, then immediately has to try to cut back right and runs right into the waiting arms of a tackler.
Yeah, and he kills his momentum when he does that too, right? So like when you try to juke or stop and go to whatever.
Green up top, yeah. Can't get out of bounds though. The clock will continue to roll as they'll hurry up. Get back into the hurry up. 328 yards now. First down and 10 from the 28.
Get out of bounds.
Still tackled in bounds.
Wow, and that went for no gain right there too. And then you got a 10-second runoff, which is going to stop at 2 minutes right here. So 2-minute warning. I thought he was going to get the snap off.
Not quite. 2 minutes to go. They're down 2 touchdowns. Can they come back? They're on a drive right now, but they need to get into the end zone to get the ball back and do it again. 2nd down and 10 from the 28. Green down to the bottom. Williams gets the catch, but barely gets any yards.
Let's get up and go. Look, and the thing about it is, right, it's just a league mandatory 10-second runoff here that they're doing it, and we got to, and I understand why they're saving their timeout, but we got to get a little bit further down the field or to get a sideline. Why are we running?
Yeah, handing the ball off still with a rolling clock.
And it's 4th down.
Now it's fourth down.
It's the second time we kind of seen this right here. Them run on 3rd and relatively long to shorten up the 4th down, and I just don't know why.
Green has time, throws up top, complete, but another flag.
Oh, that's a holding.
And another hold.
They shooting themselves in the foot down here. They had a touchdown that got called back.
Yeah, and that would have been a 1st and goal from the 5. Now it's a 4th and 16. Much harder to convert than a 4th and 6. Pass left side, and that one's picked off. That'll actually cost Portland yards to intercept it. It would have been better to let it fall down to the turf, but interception, and Portland has this all but sealed up. Let's go back to Cameron Irvine, talk about some of the late game play calls there, those run plays in particular.
Yeah, terrible, right, guys? I mean, Montana, we've seen it a few times tonight, and really this season, 3rd and long. why are they running so much, right? And that's a component to the playbook. There's literally a 3rd and long portion of the playbook, and in no huddle too, right? If you got runs in there, like, why? Don't do that. Montana is definitely going to get the option to get more aggressive in situations where they should be heading into next week. That really hurt them, and the 2 holdings didn't help.
Thank you, Cam. No, those holding penalties, one took points off the board.
Yeah, it literally took, what was it at the time? I think it may have been a game-tying touchdown off the board.
Yeah, and the other one, took away a 1st and goal, set up a 4th and 16, and they weren't able to convert it, because how often are you going to convert a 4th and 16?
Missed opportunities again for them. Last week it was them, blowing a 10-point lead, right, and then missing some opportunities there. And even thinking about Portland and what they had going on, right, they had missed opportunities last week as well, right? They took advantage of everything that they could, and I do think that they. Portland's coming out pretty fortunate, I think, here, because we look down all these times that they've gotten down in this area. Speaking about Montana, they had 2 picks down there that they thrown, within scoring distance, missed a field goal, missed, an opportunity to even kick a field goal at one time. So we're looking at, roughly, if you take those accumulatively together, if they'll come away with, say a field goal per possession that they've actually fumbled a little bit, we're looking at a, roughly, 12 more points onto the game right here, and we could be looking at something a little bit different.
Yeah, we sure could. But Portland able to get it done tonight with 4 touchdown passes from Emmanuel Blackman as they come out in victory formation. A couple of kneel downs is all it'll take as Montana is out of timeout. So you can catch the UFL co-founders CJ and Cam on the Creators Podcast each month here on Virtual Football Network. Next week, they sit down to discuss the new partnership with Green Gridiron and show off the helmets and catch up on everything that's happened around the league here in the last month. The Creators Podcast right here on the Virtual Football Network. Cam is like a chameleon. Every time he comes on Cam each week, it's like a different Cam. He's got a different haircut.
I like it.
And they're all beautiful.
Well, yeah, I know. We can't speak about how enough we love that man.
I know.
And I am also a jealous man in a way that I don't have quite the amount of follicles that man
You are
has.
follically challenged, but bald is beautiful too. Don't let anyone tell you that.
Yeah.
That's it for us here in Portland as the Huskies get the win, and they'll get their record back to 500. 3-3 now on the season for Montana. Their season continues to struggle. 2-4 now, but Blake Green definitely showed some promise as he threw for well over 300 yards. He had some struggles, but not too bad for being on the team for about an hour and a half. For Portland, they'll be on the road at Fresno, and then they're at Florida, then back home against El Paso. For Montana, they head to Minnesota next, and then they will host Phoenix, and then they host Rochester. So great game here in this one tonight. For Gerald Smith and Cameron Irvine, I'm Mike Daggs. Thanks for joining us. Be kind to one another. Always choose happy. Have yourselves a great night. We'll see you next time.